Hello, my friends. I know I'm here on a Sunday. It's wild. But with the good news, there is never bad news. It's actually incredible what I get to do and who I'm going to go film with. I can't say who and I can't say what, but I'm leaving for New York tomorrow early. That's why I thought we would just do Feral Monday on Feral Sunday. And I'm going to go film not only content, but it's a release of something that is coming. And it's probably to me, it would be one of the biggest releases of the year so far. So I'm really, really excited to do that. But that means I'm going to be out of town for the rest of the week. So I thought we would just do this. And like always, if I can, and I'm not in meetings, because I know we're going to be doing some kind of press something while I'm there too. But if I'm not doing that, I will do at least a fast story tutorial for y'all because I miss y'all. I miss you. So it's super humid out today, and I have, as you can see, I have already ran some errands, getting stuff ready for tomorrow, and I've been outside. It's wildly humid. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of powder, any powder, just a tiny amount. And y'all know I always start with my eyes, but I'm gonna take down a little bit of this humidity that is on my eyelids. Now, I don't even have oily lids, and I still do this. I have balanced to dry skin, but it is just that humid. It's kind of like setting the skincare that might still be there, and it just kind of takes down any kind of humidity shine. So it's a really, really, really good tip. Now I'm excited because I still haven't used these. These are new from Danessa Myricks. What is this green one? Do we need to do something green? So I haven't even looked at these. Okay, so they're double-ended, and then it's here. What are y'all doing down there? Can one of y'all pick a bed? Hang on. Everybody has to be in the right bed or things kind of break down around here. So we're back under control, but I was showing you that they're... I love makeup. That is my genuine reaction. But they're double-ended, so then we would just put that back. And I'm just gonna give this a couple twists. There you go. Doesn't even hurt it. Oh, so that one's brown. So it's a 2-for-1 special here. So I don't know how many of these I want to use. We're considering this Feral Monday. And then Feral Monday is a day obviously where I do more creative makeup, but it's also a day that I use multiple different products, maybe even 2 to 3 palettes, because most of the time I try to be mindful that not all of us have this much. So I think I want to use a couple of these. I'm excited. What? They feel super, super wet, and what that means is wild pigment. They are going to completely dry down. I can already tell by that. But when something has a really wet texture, that means it's just going to go on very, very intensely. I want to use this one. I thought I wanted to use the green, but I'm trying to figure out how to find the shade of it. Let me figure that out. So I know it's the Colorfix Stix. And then is that the shade? Let me do a little bit of research. So I found out this is Duo number 9. I just went and looked on the site. I still can't find it on here. I'm sure I will eventually, but that's enough of that. Let me just show you the other side of this. And I want you to watch it glide. Even though we're about to put them on, they have a glide to them like I've never really seen. So I feel like there's some serious innovation here, and I'm really excited to put this on. I just don't know how I want to put it on. Do I want to do... Okay, let's use one of these. Let's get a base going. I think that'll be fun. Give me the shade Taupe. I'm becoming very familiar with the shades here. So let's grab one of Mario's. We're going to use this more as a base, but really from our socket towards the brow. Oh yeah, that's going to be perfect. I wanted something kind of in between. Using an E29. These are still in stock, by the way. Don't be afraid. Stay with me now. It's Feral Sunday. Look how smooth that looks. And I'm just using kind of little tapping, pulling motions. That looks so nice. Love these, by the way, so much. And that's why we should clip our hair, friends. Now I got eyeshadow in my fresh hair. Just kind of push it with the tip of the brush. Nice. So if I had to pick one brush, I know this is really, really hard, but I'm just gonna go off of versatility, and I'm gonna show you, because believe it or not, this is actually something we still have in stock, and it's one of our most slept on brushes, because I wanted something that obviously had fluff, but wasn't just ginormously fluffy, because I want it to be, the density here really does matter, because I'm able to use the side of it. You know how I always use these kind of tapping motions? That's really can be very important, especially with liquid shadows. And I feel like with all of these liquid shadows that are kind of coming out, it's really time for this fiber and shape and everything to shine. So that being said, this brush with liquid shadows and really any kind of concealer, I'm going to show you in a minute how I use it with concealer. This is just a super, super versatile brush. I'm going to link it. I'm going to yap about it a little bit more, because sometimes I really am super proud of these. Let me get this back under control. My little clips from Emmy J, I love them. By the way, once they dry, and because I haven't filmed with these yet, I'm gonna leave this eye unfinished. We do it all the time, y'all know what I'm doing. And then I'll film this, because I feel like this blue one needs to be shouted from the rooftops. Speaking of shouting from the rooftops, what is this? What is this bath? Daddy's not in his room, so I had him today. I'm gonna take a little bit of my bronzer, and I'm showing you this again because if you ever want to use a blue and black like this, because there's so much blue in it, it's sometimes a little fun and can seem more familiar and easier to digest. Because sometimes when we use blacks and the blues on our face, if we don't use them often, we're not as comfortable with them. So I mentioned that blue because I want to talk about bronzer. So bronzer is generally warmer. It's generally, let's say orange. Let's not say that orange is bad at this moment. Let's take that away and let's talk about color theory. So by adding this, not only are we going to get a little bit of contrast, but everything becomes more familiar. So wearing a shade like this is going to feel a lot more comfortable, less scary if we just add a little bit of this warmth. And just take your bronzer, whatever bronzer you got. Mine's the YSL right now in terms of the powder, and I'm just using the powder to kind of soften that. Color theory even comes into play when it's eyeshadow. So that's always something to think about. A lot of us tend to stay away from certain shades of eyeshadow because they'll make our foundation look different later. They're a little scary. The blue here can sometimes make cooler tones even more cool. So by adding that warmth, it really, really helps balance the blue. So color theory is everywhere. That's why it's so fascinating to me. You're gonna let me get a little wild, right? I'm going to. I don't want to hear it. Y'all let me just have some fun here. This is actually my dream Sunday. It's so peaceful. And now I have black liquid eyeshadow. So what I thought would be fun is let's do a little bit of a graphic moment. Now, why I'm using this and not this is because I don't know how far over I want to take the sparkle. So I'm going to do a little bit of a graphic moment over here. Oh, Lord G, not everybody wants to hear you, honey. Now, don't be as worried about this over here because Sparkle's our friend, okay? Sparkle hides mistakes. I'm sorry. You knew I was going to use it. I know so many of you knew that I was going to use it. And then I'll just take... Then I'll just take my E26. And then I'll just buff these edges. Just kind of soften it in there. Blend it a little bit. Worried less about all that. That's going to have sparkle in a little while. Fine. Now let's start with this one. This is the more purpley shade. And I want to start with just, oh yeah, forget it. I don't want to do this eye. Y'all remind me, yell at me. But also be nice because I cry very easily. Okay, ooh, perfect. Okay. This is so interesting. This is a very good learning moment. Do you see how this doesn't have a base? I was betting that it didn't. I knew it from here, it kind of didn't. You can see it has just a little bit. You see how you can see my skin through that? But I knew that this one did. So this one's a black base with the blue. So this is exactly what I was after. And I'm yapping but I need to be blending. I'm still using that E29 because I want it to kind of be scattered, and I want to build it up a little bit here. Oh, this is so fun. All right, okay. Oh my goodness. This is honestly fairy dust. Now don't be looking at none of that. We're fine. Everybody's fine. Everything is fine. I didn't know how far over I wanted to take. That's kind of my style of makeup. I have a vision, and then I just play it by ear. And most of it, and this is, I feel is so important, is just knowing how to bring things back and how to fix things. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing patchiness because I'm over blending this, because I'm kind of bringing it over that way, but that's going to be such an easy fix. So what might look like an issue is really me just kind of playing it by ear. And this is what I want you to be able to do, because it's more important to know how to bring things back and understand textures than it is to be perfect on the first swipe. Now I'm building it up a little bit more, and I'm going to connect it here. I really wanted to see how much I could build this up. This is front camera, y'all. When you see this with back camera, it's going to be wild. These are probably some of the most sparkliest shadows that I've ever seen. And they feel wet going on, and that is a good thing. Again, it's about that level of intensity. Whenever something can be applied wet, it's going to be more intense. And that's kind of what this is. It's built in. Now this is the shade I'm really excited for. Let me get ready here. How do I put this back together? Did I do this right? What am I doing? Who am I? What day is it? Oh, it's me. I'm the problem. Now let's go into our black and blue shade. So excited for this one. Let's grab our E29 again. I love the way the E29 can diffuse the sparkles. And let's go ahead and start to place this here. I'm a butterfly. Jean, keep it down. Wow. That is so pigmented. And I feel like you have a little bit of blending time with these too, which makes them a little bit more user-friendly. And I'm just kind of diffusing it here. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more so it touches over there. Notice I'm tapping. Tapping's gonna fill in gaps, even if you're tapping with the shadow stick. The thing I do want you to already start doing is putting the lid back on immediately. I can tell with this formula we might have some dry out. Not a bad thing. I'm here to show you how to get the most out of it. So let's go ahead and put the lid on it. Even if we're gonna reach for it in another 2 minutes, I feel like it's important to keep the lid on this wet of a formula. I think I'm definitely gonna do falsies, but I wanna mention that I am gonna use my Prada mascara, my Prada Beauty. And the reason why is because I can really get it in here, and it kind of just does a tight line for me because I don't wanna do eyeliner. So this will get in here and kind of fill in gaps. Because it's basically like putting mascara on with a lash comb. And what tight lining is it's not necessarily here. It's the gaps in between your lashes. And that's what I want to fill in. Because I feel like I've been doing liner a lot lately, and I always like to switch it up. Even this, if we just kind of faded that in, would be so pretty. But this sparkle, I'm having a good time. Are y'all having a good time? I'm having a good time. So I've got my little lash warming up here, but while that's warming up, we're gonna multitask. So I like this all over, but I feel if you're balanced to dry, you might not. But I still think if you're balanced to dry and it's summertime or you have a blemish, you'll like this. And the reason why is because it is so thin, but say you sweat here, wear this underneath your foundation, okay? Give this a little buffety buff out. Don't look at this, it's prototype. But once it sets, it's not gonna go anywhere. Think of it as a built-in sealant setting spray. So that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna use it maybe here, and then I'm gonna wind up using less of the foundation I'm about to use. So we'll just take this fluffier brush, buff it out a little bit. Use it under. Use it as a extra layer of insurance. This is not new to me, but it's a new formula. and I'm very excited to try it. So I loved the original formula. This is kind of a superior texture and formula when it comes to a gel. Now, why would we want a gel? It's going to be the lightest weight. It's going to be so thin. The only issue I have is I like a little bit more pigment. So I wonder if they've added more pigment. The color is going to be really, really good. But I was fine with the original formula, but now we have a new one. I should wipe that off first. I always try to be mindful, even though this is all of my personal products. I know a lot of working makeup artists and people kind of just starting their makeup journey and being makeup artists, so I try to be very mindful of being sanitary, even though this is all of my personal makeup. So I'm going to take a C42 and I'm going to kind of start to work this in. Wow. It feels extremely thin. So we're not going to get a lot of coverage, and that's where I was going with the gel. It is very light coverage. It's going to be extremely, extremely light. Think of this as half a step up, only half a step up from a tinted moisturizer. Even some tinted moisturizers, I feel, they kind of pack a little bit more pigment. So that's something to keep in mind. I love this, but I'm here to explain. And I will say they dry down. They dry down very, very nicely. But again, you're kind of sacrificing coverage here because you can't layer this on as heavily. It's just not meant to. So then you just have a ton of gel floating around on your face. But if you're looking for kind of the lightest version, the most lightweight feeling version of a tinted moisturizer, you're going to love a gel. I want you to kind of see that texture up close. It's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. I never had issues with the original formula, and I know that we're only getting kind of science advancements, if you will, so I know I'm going to love this. It feels amazing. I have a little bit left here on my spatula, so where do we want this? Let's put it there. Oh, he's just honk shoe. Perfect. And the reason I wanted to apply this with the C42 is kind of gonna give it its most pigmented self, and it's also going to keep it really, really thin. Density and brush fiber matters, but whenever I have a foundation, really any foundation, and I want to get the most out of it while making it super, super thin across my face, that's when I reach for this one. So that's when I want it to be full coverage, or get it to as much full coverage as possible with it still being super, super thin. It's this guy right here. We actually still have some of these left. I've got my lash ready. It's been sitting here getting nice and warm. This is Go Getter Lily Lashes. Self-adhesive. Let it get more acquainted. It really does help. Now I've worn these a couple times, so they already kind of understand my eye shape, but I don't want that to worry you. Let it sit there and warm up just a little bit more. Give it another 15 seconds. Now, it's become more friends. It really has. Now, a lash applicator is crucial to me, no matter what kind of lash you're gonna put on. But it's so nice because, look at that already. Because I feel that conventional just brush on glue wants to just get everywhere, and then it's on my tweezers. And then I have issues kind of pulling away, but this doesn't. Perfect. So whenever I'm doing a more pigmented liquid bronzer, I do like to do it before concealer. Jane, please keep it down. They can get out of hand pretty quickly, and if you do them before concealer, you're able to control them a lot easier. So I did make sure it was kind of evened out on my hand. I evened that out with my finger, not even the brush, because I want the brush to pick it up really nice and evenly. And then I'm just going to start to stamp this on. I kind of go right above the hollow of my cheek because I'm not really contouring there, so I don't care as much. Look at how perfectly that fits there, though. But that's beside the point. Just letting you know that I don't really go into the hollow. Bronzer is more about a high point. It's more kind of the side of the face. Think about where your cheekbone is, because we're all different. But this is kind of fun because it's just, we're learning our face. Feel the bottom part of your cheekbone, just go a little bit above that. because bronzer can't really get in. I was saying the sun can't really get into the hollows of our face, but where the sun does get is the higher points. But it can even get here, so think of it that way. And I feel like the cheekbone thing is kind of easy because a lot of us, we understand that here's the top part, you can kind of feel that, and then fill underneath. Usually your teeth will be right around that area, so just take it right above that, because again, we're not needing to follow that necessarily because that's not what we're doing. We're not contouring. We're just mimicking the shape that the sun naturally gives us. And the sun can even hit me here. It's gonna hit all around there. And then believe it or not, the sun really hits you kind of here too. And then of course directly across. So that's why you're always seeing me do that. And it just kind of evens out and melts shadow, because I'll take this brush and just kind of go that way and that way. But again, liquid bronzer can get wild, so that's why I do it before concealer. I still think these are probably some of my most blurring blushes in my entire collection. So I'm gonna put a little bit here on the back of my hand. This is the shade Zen. Such a pretty shade. I hope they add more shades of this, because it's such a good formula. And then remember, I still don't have concealer on, so I don't mind if this is more pigmented. So I'm gonna pick it up with this side of the D1, also a brush that we still have available. And I'm gonna go pretty heavy, just kind of here in this front part. Instant Blur. I love this formula so much. I want a red in this formula. Okay, and then I'm gonna take whatever's left across my nose. It's kind of a sunny look. But remember, if you feel a little uncomfortable doing this, that's why we're doing it before concealer. The concealer in question. I'm gonna use my Natasha Denona R5. And I'm using this more to highlight, and I didn't mean to do that. Let's act like I didn't do that. It's not a trend I'm trying to start. That looks good. Maybe a little bit here. Maybe whiskers. So remember our E29 from earlier? This is the one that had all that sparkle in it. I just wiped it on Sheila. Maybe we'll see another sparkle. Let's make sure that we don't have any. Just the cat hair. Make sure. Oh, see, there's one. Let me get that out. There we go. That should be good. I'm going to take this and I'm going to blend my concealer. Ooh, my concealer's getting a little too light. I've got something for that too. Oh my gosh, he literally sounds like a cow. And then for these larger areas, I'll just hop back over to the C42. Perfect melt. So smooth. Jean's not impressed, but I am. So I know I'm gonna go through this shade like crazy. I already wanna order another one. And this is why. I'm gonna take a dense brush. This one's sold out. But I'm gonna take Sandstone, which is very close to my skin tone, and look what you can do for tiny little spots, like whatever that little scar is there. And then take a dense brush, and it's gone. I love using liquid shadow for this. It's so cool. I hit pan on this again, but I don't even know. I had to film so much this week to catch up. I expected this. Always swirl it together. Beep, 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 beep. I'm gonna use the puff brush for the center of my face because I want to keep a little bit of my dew going on here. A puff could take it to extra, extra matte, but I want a demi matte. That's the word I'm looking for. I knew it was gonna come to me. Lord have mercy. But I will set my under eyes with a puff because I like my under eyes, especially with as much concealer as I just put on. I like my under eye to be a little bit more set. Now, I've been yapping and doing all kinds of stuff, laughing at Jean. So I am going to just make sure that that was nice and smoothed out. Perfect. That's just never not satisfying to watch. And remember, it's Feral Sunday. It's supposed to be Feral Monday. So then I'm going to take kind of a matching blush. Oh, this was a little too dark. I like this one, but let me get the other one. This is French Rosette. I love this color. Kind of back into this formula too, by the way. This is the one I'm wanting. It's going to tie in really nicely. So then I take this side of the D1 because it's going to be a very light application. I do wish, this is so personal, but also kind of not. I do wish that the pressed area here didn't sit up so high because you see how it picks up unevenly. That is just one of my things. And I do think sometimes it can sabotage us because it doesn't lie flat. So when your brush is picking it up, it's going to deposit that. So I'll have to tap it a couple times to make sure it's nice and even, and then I'll tap it on the back of my hand a couple times. All right, now it should be even. And it just transitions it to an airbrush look. That is just beautiful to me. Still loving these. I'm gonna do baby pink all over my lips. Oh, and I wore this yesterday and I ate so much. Oh, I ate everything. From sushi to chocolate cake. I ate it all. It literally looked like I had just applied it. Now, I didn't put anything on top of it. No gloss, nothing. So if you do want to wear them by themselves, I wore this literally 12 hours and it looked like I had just applied it. Then I'm going to use Warm Brown. I don't think I've used this one yet. I'm going to use it as the lip liner. And I'm going to blend it. You can blend them before they set. That's satisfying. This is a pretty lip combo. I'm going to take a little bit of my NARS Pot Concealer. And this is what I always do. I always just do a nice little tidy. You can do this with powder foundation if you deal with a lot of feathering, but I never have issues. And I'm using such a small amount. But I give options because some of us have a different makeup journey. I use the shade Honey in this Pot Concealer. Nice. They're super precise for me anyways, the lip stains. I'm trying to decide which ones I want to take. All of them. And it's Feral Monday. I believe this is a new shade of the MAC lip glass. This is their new formula. To be honest, it doesn't really wow me. But I thought this would be pretty on top. Because it has a little bit of kind of this color sparkle. So I thought it would tie in. But I'm not going to act like, ooh, these are revolutionary. I actually feel like they don't wear as long as the old formula. And they're just kind of meh. I can take them or leave them. I'll use it because I have it and I think it's really pretty, but I like more pigment to my glosses. But I like the idea of the sparkle matching this color right here. All right, let me hop off and film this other eye and then I will be back. All right, my friends, I'm back. I love these. I kind of want to take one of the more neutral shades with me. I thought we could swatch the rest. I also figured out how to find out what shade we're using. It's in here. So this was shade 9. Let's swatch the rest of them. You know what I'm thinking. Let me go get my little in shots and then I'm going to swatch the rest of them on my face because it's just so much better. Back. Let's ruin this makeup together. This is going to be Duo number 10. Didn't mean to do that. But let's go ahead and swatch it. I'm going to swatch them kind of weird places. Okay, so that's kind of a classic black with silver shimmer. Yes, I wish you could feel these. I'm so excited for you to feel these because they feel so cooling and wet. It's so interesting. That is so pretty. It's truly a foil. And then once you tap a foil, it comes to life. And then you get this extreme shimmer. So that was 10. Let's see if I can get one more in here. Maybe not. It's okay. We're going to take our time. This one is number 6. Oh, I have to open these. I might have to. Let me just stop this slide. Remember, we're on Duo 6. So that kind of taupey shade. Wow. Kind of want to take that one with me. That's kind of what I'm doing here too, because I'm only going to take one. Because let's be realistic, I don't know if I'm going to have time for that many tutorials, so I don't want to get too wild and be like, oh no, I got this. Ooh, that's a strong contender. They're so pigmented. Scrumptious, delicious. But I do want to just remind you, I don't want you to buy these and then get a little willy-nilly and leave the cap off, because that will ruin the formula. Now I can't even find the dadgum cap. It's on there. So this is my first tutorial. Here we have Duo 5. A little warmer. Ooh, that's pretty. Gorgeous. And then here's the other side. Ooh, that's a pretty neutral. Oh, I feel like that's going to be one of the most popular neutrals. That's gorgeous. And again, that's Duo 5. But I have it labeled, but I'm also just telling myself. I think Duo 5 is the one I'm going to take. I'm already just going to decide I'm taking it and put it in my bag. We have Duo 8. I like how it's kind of these lighter shades too. So look at that. Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool one. And then here's the other side to this. Duo 8. Another dark kind of blue shade. This one's not quite as blue as this one. It's a little bit more slate. Love it. Duo 4, and I already know that this is gonna be, it's gonna be a fan favorite there. That gorgeous gold. That is so scrumptious. I feel like these are really innovative and fun. And then let's do this side. Ooh, darker color. Wow. Ooh, yeah, I like that. This one, all of these are going to have kind of a shimmery metallic look to them. None of them are going to be matte. So even though, there you go, you can kind of see it. It might feel like it's a little bit more matte, but it's not going to be. See? There you go. Are you okay? He's good. This is going to be Duo 3. Ooh, that's pretty. This is the metallic. It actually says metallic on one side and then foil on the other. So that's fun. And then the foil is just going to be the more intense side. Like a foil. I'm trying to turn my head. There you go. I forget I can turn my head. Actually, it hurts to turn my head. Okay, we have Duo 2. Ooh, this is a cool one. It's kind of a pinky copper flip. That's gorgeous. And then on the other side, is that the foil? Yep, that's the foil side. And then the metallic side. Oh, gorgeous. Ooh, that's going to be a pretty look. I'm already excited for that one. Is that all of them? Oh no, they're here. Don't do that, Rose. Now I'm confused. There's so many of them. And then here is Duo 1. Kind of a classic-y champagne. That's really pretty. Here's the other side to that, the metallic side, which is going to be darker. And then last but not least, Duo 7, and I'm going to do it here on my chin. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's the foil side. This has a ton of pink in it. I'm going to show you with back camera too, because sometimes the front camera just doesn't do it justice. And here's the other side. Scrumptious. All right, let me show you with back camera. I think I just want to do the other side of my face and wear it like this. Look at this sparkle here. I'm trying to turn it all the way. Oh, there you go. You can see it there. Wow, these are so beautiful. And remember, they do dry down. You might have a little bit of sparkle transfer, but you're not going to have pigment transfer. All right, I'm talking into a phone which is pointed at the mirror, so if I look a little wild, that's why. I love y'all so much. Like I said, this is to make up for I'm traveling all day tomorrow. Y'all know I don't like flying, and I'm really working through it. Actually, a lot of you have told me some really helpful things, so I'm really starting to feel so much better. But that being said, it does help when y'all DM me and chat with me. So I'm flying from about noon tomorrow Central Time, and it's like a 3.5 hour flight. So if you want to chat with me, please do. But y'all have helped me so much. I honestly used to dread it, and now I'm not dreading it. I kind of look forward to our chats. So no tutorial tomorrow, and then I'm going to try to do one on Tuesday. But either way, I'll keep y'all updated. All right, I love you so much, and definitely going to post tonight, so I'll see you there in the comments. Bye for now.